Gazebound. Join Alayande Stephen Tolokwe on the segment Talking Points with Stevo on Exports, live on MZ Radio London every Saturday by 9 p.m. It promises to be an interesting and engaging time out where we dissect, analyze, critique, review, and review different perspectives on sporting related issues with more focus on football. Don't miss this. This is Talking Points with
Oh, he loves the fire. What a goal! Oh, I say.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Exports, your number one sportainment show, a fusion of sports and entertainment. It's all for your listening pleasure.
Good afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, all over the world. This is Talking Point with Stevo, and my name remains Lion. This is Stephen Tolulope. I'm your usual anchor on this program. Talking Point with Stevo is live from MZ Radio London and AP Radio United Kingdom. I once again want to appreciate God for the gift of life, for making us to see today. And interestingly, it's going to be a special edition, a special package, because I've got two guys in the building, and we're going to be battling and discussing and reviewing and giving perspective as to the cracker coming up tomorrow, talking about the ARC rivalry tomorrow, tomorrow, January 17th, talking about Liverpool engaging Manchester United at Anfield. That is our talking points today. And as usual, we're going to be having our five talking points that we'll be looking at and be analyzing today. So without wasting much of your time, we have our usual and our friend in the building that has been with us in the last few weeks. O.Phils is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. If your hands are not busy, put your hands together for O.Phils in the building. O.Phils, you're welcome.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Talking Point, and we're gonna be battling today. Thank you for having me again, Stevo, on Talking Points with Stevo.
Fantastic, O.Phils, you're welcome. We have someone that will be joining us for the first time, and I'm so happy, and I'm so elated, to have him in the house. No other person but the one we call David Sanfo. David Sanfo, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
All right, guys, if you're fired up, I'm fired up. We'll be looking at the cracker, talking about Liverpool against Manchester United. Without trying to pitch us against each other, I'm aware that David Sanfo is a Manchester United fan and O.Phils a diehard Liverpool fan. So we'll be talking and be analyzing without necessarily, pitching battle. But then we'll be looking at 5 talking points today. And we'll start from the rear as usual. But before we do that, we just want to give a background to the head-to-head of these two teams. These are the two most successful football clubs in the history of England. Two most successful. Of course, you can say United Kingdom, because no team in Wales, in Scotland, wherever, in Ireland, that they are successful across Europe, even on a global scale, compared to Liverpool and Manchester United. They've played together when it comes to the English Premiership. They've played together 56 times. I repeat, they've played together 56 times. And Manchester United, has a better head-to-head advantage. Manchester United has won Liverpool 28 times, while Liverpool has won 15 times, 28 to 15 times, and they have 13 draws in between. 15 for Liverpool, 28 wins for Manchester United, and 13 draws for in between the two. So the last 4 matches has been Liverpool ahead, 2 wins and 2 draws, talking about the EPL. So, like I said, we'll start from the rear. My first talking point that will be, engaging you guys from is what I tag the shaky Liverpool defense. The shaky Liverpool defense. We know that Liverpool has injury crisis of Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez. And of course, they've been able to improvise all the way. And the last few matches, bringing Fabio, back into the heart of the defense, and occasionally pairing Ryan Williams, the 19-year-old guy, and the 22-year-old Nat Phillips. And these guys have been shaky at times. The last match they lost to Southampton, they brought back their captain, Jordan Henderson, to partner Fabio, but that seems not to have worked. What is the implication of this shaky Liverpool defense in the Kaka tomorrow? I'll start with you, David. What do you think?
Well, it's really going to be an interesting match tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, yes, I know there's been a lot of talking points about the shaky defense Liverpool has. I mean, just like you said, the last game Henderson had to come in, which was strange actually seeing Henderson playing a defensive role, really. But I think maybe just depending on what tactics Klopp is going to use tomorrow, I think one of the greatest strengths Liverpool has is pretty much in the attack. So I mean, even though there's that possibility they might concede. I mean, of course, if you look at the attacking force United has with Fernandes and Martial and Rashford and even Cavani coming into the picture now, I mean, of course, we can really say a lot about the defensive frailties of Liverpool. But I think also, if you look at also the attacking trio that Liverpool has, I think even though they might concede, there's also that possibility that they might score more than they can concede. So will be interesting to see what kind of tactics Klopp uses tomorrow and how effective they are. I mean, of course, we know that Alexander-Arnold and Robertson kind of go forward a lot. So it creates that space at the back. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. But I think Liverpool they still have that edge just because of their unbeaten run at home, even though they have a shaky defense, in my opinion.
Interesting coming from a Man U fan. All right, so I love that. So O.Phils, over to you. What do you think? Matip has not played the last two matches, and they didn't start training with them and the last three trainings, but he did participate in the training yesterday. Talking about Joe Matip, if it's good enough, Jurgen Klopp can throw him into the mix to partner Fabio. But be that as it may, what do you think of the Liverpool shaky defense?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how Klopp is going to line up the team because, as you've said, we were not expecting what happened the last time, seeing Henderson and Fabiano at the back. They are our main midfielders. With Henderson in that midfield, the guys are the wings. They can bust forward. But without him there, we look so fragile. And you can see that Alexandrino, he couldn't pop forward as he used to do before, just because he doesn't have that backup. So it will be interesting to see how the back line up. But I will be tipping for Matip because we learned that he's been training. He trained yesterday and probably trained today as well. So I'll be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting. But I think Matip is gonna play a part, if not all the 90 minutes, maybe just 60, 70 minutes. And I believe personally that Klopp will not make that mistake again, putting two midfielders at the back. He rather start with Henderson and one of the Phillips, the young stars. That's what I think is going to happen.
All right, so quickly, before we leave this talking point, Mr. David, what do you think? How would you rate Liverpool, missing Gomez and Virgil van Dijk since, March day 5, and this is day 18, and they have coped thus well, but what's your take, missing your two CB central, defenders, even occasionally missing Matip? What do you think of the Liverpool, coping all this way?
Yeah, I mean, really, just like you said, I mean, it's very glaring that they've actually lost those two very good defenders, and of course, bringing in Henderson and Fabinho into defense has not really been. I mean, that's not their main position, but I think they've coped very well. If you look at the last match they played against Southampton, I mean, they go by Danny Ings. I mean, there was nothing really the goalkeeper Alisson could do about that. I mean, it was just a brilliant goal, really. I mean, if they had lost by a wide margin of say 2-3 goals, then maybe I'll be a little bit concerned. But if you look at that, the whole Liverpool team and the way, the style in which they have been playing, the whole energy going forward, keeping the ball, making sure they are putting so much pressure on their opponents. I really don't think they have so much a problem. They've been able to cope so well in the last few games. They've really been unlucky with so many decisions. But I think they've really, really done very well. Imagine if, they've been top of the league before United took over in the last last few games. So I think I'll still tip them as favorite for tomorrow. Really, even with their shaky defense, actually. Yes.
All right, before we leave, O.Phils, in 1-2 sentences, do you think Liverpool should get a makeshift CB this January?
I think we should get one, but with the way the club has been run for the past few years, I don't think we're gonna get anyone, because they want to promote the youngsters, and at the same time, if you look at when we sell any
sentences.
sorry,
O.Phils,
when anytime club sell someone, he always replaces it with someone in the squad or someone coming from the academy, and I think that's done already. That's why we have Phillips and Riens. So we're, in my own opinion, we are not getting anyone. Fabiano is there as
Thank you,
well.
guys. All right, so let's
All right.
move to the fourth talking point, and that is to look at the attack. And when you look at the attack, you look at the form of Mo Salah and Rashford. The two guys have been fantastic for Liverpool. Salah leading the pack of the EPL goals, 13 goals, and leading the likes of Vardy, the Canes, and the likes. So so far this season, the Rashford had played 27 games so far. Played 20, and they both had one hat-trick. Rashford has scored 14 goals in all the competition, and 17 goals in all the competition. That's more assists, 5 assists, and Salah has 4 assists. Who do you think is more reliable when it comes to form and decision and what have you tomorrow when it comes to the match? The attack is key to the whoever is going to win tomorrow. David, let's get your opinion.
Yeah, it's a hard call really, trying to compare the two, because the two have been brilliant in the last few games. Of course, we've seen Rashford doing very well even against PSG. There was a lot of talking points about, is it Rashford or is it going to be Mbappe? During the PSG game, and Rashford really took the bull by the horn and came out and really did very well. And of course, we've known about the exploits of Salah over the last few years. So it's a hard call. It will really also depend on what the other players beside them are doing. So of course, for United, it will depend on how Fernandes also plays. They played a few days ago, and Liverpool haven't played. So it seems like if Liverpool are going to be more fresh in terms of coming into the game. And so it also depends on how Mane also plays with respect to Liverpool coming into the game. But of course, the two of them are really, really going to be threats. And just like we're saying previously, it's also be about how the opposing sides kind of manage, the opposing side defenses kind of manage both of them really. Rashford is very, very fast. Salah also can pick pockets in the defense. So will be interesting to see. I think it's a hard call really to say who is more reliable. But I think it's known that Rashford kind of steps up in the big games, really. So let's see whether Salah also could step up tomorrow in the big games.
Interesting. All right. So, O.Phils, what's your take? Quickly.
Well, talking about being reliable, I will just talk about form, to be sincere, because right now Liverpool has not been in a very good form. And as you can see, the form of Manchester United, they've won about 9 games in a row, and Liverpool hasn't won in 5 games. So saying you depend on someone, the form is so key, is key. If you put them together right now, Rashford will just be busting. Why Salah will be trying to get his mojo back and his form back. So right now, as we speak today, I will go for Rashford 100%. just right now, but on overall, I think what Salah has done, top goal scorer for the past 3 seasons, you can't just compare. That's just for now. But talking about tomorrow's game, it is going to be head to head to the end.
Interesting. Right, that's to say that the two strikers has what it takes to actually lift the team tomorrow. Only time will tell. All right, we'll move straight to our number 3 talking point, and that is to say the midfield maestros. We're talking about these guys being the determinant factor. If Liverpool misses Fabinho in the midfield, if they go ahead and miss Henderson, it's going to throw a lot of imbalance in the shape of the Liverpool midfield. But one thing that is going well for Liverpool is the introduction of Thiago Alcantara, and is back, fit, and he can actually do damages. But no one can undermine the importance and the new heartbeat of Manchester United. Talking about Bruno Fernandes, who has a broken record of winning Player of the Month 4 times in a year. No player in history has done that 4 times in a year. So Thiago Alcantara and Bruno Fernandes. Let's go, David. What's your take?
Wow, two really, really good players, really indeed. I mean, of course, I'm a little worried actually about Fernandes because he's. The last game I don't think he played very well. Thiago, of course, with his experience where he's played in Bayern Munich and coming into Liverpool team, will be interesting. I mean, there's a lot of history behind. These games, so. Will be interesting to see the energy that comes into it. I mean, like I said previously, also for Salah and Rashford. I'm a little concerned just because Liverpool is coming in fresh, much more fresh as compared to United. But I think the attack-minded Bruno Fernandes, if he plays very well tomorrow, I think United have a very good chance against the kind of defense that Liverpool has. Thiago is also good. Don't get me wrong, he's really good. But I think if Bruno plays very well tomorrow, considering the defense we have in United, I think United have a very good chance. If Bruno doesn't play well, then I think we might have a poor game. Although, we shouldn't forget also the fact that Pogba also has gained confidence in the last few games. You could see the way he was speaking during the post-match interview for the last game. He's really ready to fight. So it will be an interesting one to see Pogba, Fernandes, really pushing each other and trying to see how, that midfield really makes a massive difference going forward. Of course, Bruno might not be as strong as Pogba, but I think, his passes, his vision will really make a massive difference. Of course, Thiago also is gonna make his own contributions, but we'll see. It all depends also on the tactics that is being used tomorrow, but will be an interesting one to see.
O.Phils, let's get your opinion.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying it's gonna be the battle of the midfield tomorrow. So it's not just about Bruno and Thiago. We know that for Liverpool, we need more creativity. That's why we really, really need Thiago to step up tomorrow. But some people have been saying that Fernandes has not been showing up in big games. So I'm looking forward to see what he's going to do. More so, talking about the setup is very, very important. We saw that Ole he rested McTominay in their last game. So McTominay will be coming in, and if they're having 2 midfielders to sit, they're going to make it so difficult for Liverpool to break them up. So we will need a very good creative midfielder. That's why Thiago is going to come in. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting game tomorrow. So whoever wins the midfield, as people say, should be able to be on top tomorrow.
Interesting. Whoever wins the midfield battle will likely be the winner tomorrow. All right, we'll wait and see. So for now, we'll go on a short break. And when we come back, we'll look at our number 2 and number 1 talking points. This is still MD Radio London and AP Radio United Kingdom live from Talking Points.
My name is John, and I'm on Talking Point with Stevo, Export, MZ Radio London.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. We are talking about the match tomorrow, talking about Liverpool going against Manchester United. It's going to be a cracker, and lots of people have been talking about it. It's going to be the 57th time that they are going to meet on head-to-head. Our number 2 talking point is no other one than the psychology of the who tops the EPL table. I'm just going to take two sentences from you guys before we round it off to move to number 1. What is the psychology behind who goes on top tomorrow? 6-point gap, the unbeaten home record of Liverpool. So I start with you, O.Phils. Let's get your opinion here.
Well, for now, I don't think that will matter at all because we still have a long way to go. We're just getting to the halfway of the season, so it's still a long season. I know it can affect some of the players. Liverpool has been doing this for the last 3 seasons. So even if Manchester wins tomorrow, I don't think it's going to affect Liverpool at all. And the same goes for Man U as well. They've been on a very good form, very good run. I don't think one defeat will change everything for them.
Interesting. Let's go, David. What's your take?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a massive boost for United if they go 6 points clear. I mean, on many grounds. One is the players are going to have a strong sense of belief. I mean, after the 6-1 loss to Tottenham, they've picked themselves up, and of course they also lost 1-0 to Arsenal. A lot of players are coming back in and having that confidence. Ole hasn't. I mean, this is the first time he's ever topping the league, so it's going to be a massive boost for them. I think it's going to probably have a much more negative effect if Liverpool lose, just because of course their unbeaten run is going to be broken. I think looking at their defense also is gonna affect them massively. So I think it's gonna have more effect, a positive effect, if United win as compared to if they lose.
All right, so tomorrow is almost here, and we can only wait and see how this affects the psychology of the team, and of course the entire EPL as it were. Don't forget that Manchester City is locking around somewhere, winning and having. I think they have one match, one unplayed, outstanding match, and they are locked around. They even want to see a draw so they can move in and what have you. That's what Pep Guardiola is doing presently. We'll move to the last point, which is our number 1. The coach's tactical battle. Of course, we know who Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, and we know who Jurgen Klopp is. So, at times when there's a serious battle like that, one singular change, depth, tactical change, formation, substitution can change the entire, face and frame of a game. So what do you guys think? Which coach do you think has what it takes to outwit the other tomorrow? Especially looking at what Klopp said. He said, I'm really looking forward to this game. To be honest, I know Ole said that this is the best moment to play against Liverpool. That's talking about how Liverpool has been losing matches, drawing. He now said, yeah, let's see what happens. You think it's the best moment to play Liverpool? Yeah, let's see what happens. So I'll start with you, David. What is your postulation here?
I think the tactical battle will really be a function of the players they have to call upon to come in and help at different times. I mean, if you look at the United team,
so you're talking about the bench.
Yes. Yes. I mean the depth of the bench. I mean I think they still have quite a number of players. I mean we have Cavani in. I mean McTominay can still come in and make a massive difference. We don't really have any new injuries in terms of defense. So I would think in terms of the squad depth that Ole has right now, I think that will be an advantage. In terms of the tactics of Liverpool, I mean, we know the way Liverpool plays is always high energy, pressing game. which
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they're going to do that now with their shaky defense. So will be interesting to see. I think it will also be interesting to see how each team starts. I mean, Liverpool always start on the pressing side, and United also always want to start on that pressing side. So it's really going to be a back-to-back pressing game. So I will think, just like was said earlier on, the midfield is really going to make a massive difference. Of course, there was a lot of talk about, getting penalties. I think United have been lucky in the last few games. Actually, the game against Aston Villa, I think that was a very soft penalty there considered by Pogba. So will be interesting to see.
That from a Man U fan.
Of course,
let's have O.Phils because we are running out of time.
All right,
O.Phils,
that's fine.
let's get yeah.
The tactical birth too is it's going to be interesting as well because as we've been reading, Klopp started with a mind game saying they do get more penalties and this and that, and Ole actually replied and said, go and look at the stats and stuff like that. And when you check it as well, it's almost even the penalties gotten this season. So it's been going on already. It's been going on already. Right. So what I would say is that a lot of people are thinking that Liverpool hasn't got the depth, but check it out. We got Origi. That guy is a game changer. Just go back, recall what he did against Barcelona and so many other big Origi, Shaqiri, Minamino. All these guys can come in and change things within a twinkle of an eye. So watch out for them. Right. We're not writing Man U off, but it's going to be a real tactical battle that we are looking forward to. Let me say one more thing before I go because of our time. I want to say my wife support Man U and I support Liverpool, and tomorrow is our wedding anniversary. So I'm actually looking forward to this one so much.
that'll be an interesting battle. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, big guys. All right, let's take your prediction. 1 seconds. Prediction. David, prediction. Go. Why are you thinking now? We're out of time.
Well, I think it's gonna be a draw. 1-1.
1-1. O.Phils.
My mind is saying 2-1 to Liverpool. My head is saying 2-2.
All right, so guys, that's how the cookie crumbles today. We are so appreciative of having you guys in the house. Thank you so much, David Sanfo, and thank you again for joining us. Hope we'll call you anytime. David, you oblige us to be part of this. So tomorrow, let's get out there and see this game and support whichever team we are supporting. Once again, thank you. God bless you. This is Talking Point with Stevo. Signing out. See you again next week. God bless you. Thank you.
You have heard it, and there you have it. Catch us again next week on another interesting episode of Export World. That is EXSPORT.